welcome to this week's Fiberific Live Craft and Chat, where we craft and chat live. It's just, a day here, a day in the life. I managed to fix my lighting. I managed, normal things that I do in a week. My little fairy lights were bugging me because they kept flickering and I had to reset them. Anyway, you guys don't care. You don't care about that. I changed my thumbnail this week. Did anybody notice that? Did anybody notice that I had a different thumbnail, or do you guys not even care? Because I'm trying to do all the good YouTuber things, and I'm supposed to use a different thumbnail for every live stream. So do you guys find having the same thumbnail helps you to find the video, or do you think that having the same thumbnail makes you look at it and go, was that last week's or this week's, or last month's or this month's? So yeah. Now I have a poll in the chat that's been there for a little bit, and we'll leave it there for a bit longer. And it's talking about weaving in ends and when do you weave in your ends. Now I did put just there's just a couple of options there. Let me just I don't know if I can see it. Let me click on it. Well, yeah. So when do you weave in your ends? As you go, at the end, or dangly ends, or an aesthetic, which, believe it or not, they are. I've been looking at sweaters that girls are making at the moment, and they just tie them in a knot and just leave the ends hanging loose. And I'm just like, no, but it's a thing. Okay. So when I say as you go, I don't necessarily mean cut the end, weave it in, keep going. I do mine in sections. So like if I'm doing a granny square, I'll weave in all the ends on that granny square before I join it. Or if it's a join as you go, I'll join as you go, then weave all the ends in, then start the next granny square. If I'm doing the spring frost cowl, I go through and stitch all the colors of a section, and then go back and weave it all in before I start the next section. That's what I meant by as you go, just to clarify that. So good morning to everybody who's in the chat. Josephine was first. And good morning to Josephine. You probably can't chat now, excuse me, because you're at work, and work kind of expects you to I don't know, work. I don't know, random. Kathy says, nice to see you 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. Oh, of course. Yes. I'm thinking, what? And then I remember, no, I was over on Claire's channel yesterday, hanging out with Claire. So it took me a second. It's been a lot has happened since then. So Vampire has a great question. Anyone else start a large project, weaving in the ends as you go, and about halfway through give up and leave them till the end? I mean, I have definitely done that, but I'm trying so hard not to do that right now. So hard. Morning to the early chatters. Lots of wind for everybody. Wind in Wisconsin, wind in Canada, wind in Brisbane. There's a cyclone a couple of 100 kilometers away. So, it's a bit windy here. Kelly Powell, welcome to the chat. Lisby has put up her Ad Skippers member for 14 months. Thank you for supporting for so long, Lisby. I totally appreciate that. Kelly, we've got two varying, right next to each other. Two varying. I noticed the new one, but prefer the same one. I don't June change. Don't know what that means, but you prefer the same one. Whereas Kelly says, I do like a new thumbnail for each live, but no pressure. There you go. Leanne says, I think I noticed the title more than the thumbnail. Hey, look, don't be sorry. I'm trying to work out what's better for you guys, honestly. Sue Ellen has not been in the chat for a while. Good to see you here, and I hope your meeting goes well. If I don't chat to you again. Freaky says, I don't like change, but it's your channel. Do what makes you happy. Fair enough. Freaky says, I still say drag the boss into the chat. Look, I agree. And Leanne, thank you for reminding me. Lurkers, we do appreciate you. And replay watchers, we totally appreciate you. If you're a replay watcher, you can add comments. Now, they're not into live, they're in the comments down below, but I'll come in and I'll give them love hearts. And if it's a question, I'll answer it. And, like, I will make sure that you feel some love if you're in the replay, because I understand time zones, and you could be at work, or you could just not be able to chat for whatever reason. And I don't want you to feel like you miss out just because you can't be right here, right now. Molly says that Erica Knight leaves dangly ends. Yeah, look, it's a thing. It is a thing. Game Widows is unpicking a seam this morning that she's not happy with. Yeah, I've been known to do that on occasion. I love this. I weave in the ends on shawls and socks when they're finished, but jumpers, I'm still wearing ones that have all their ends tucked in. So yeah, when you can turn it inside out and no one can see the ends, that's a whole nother story, isn't it? Knitspin Girl says, I knit a bit, weave in a few ends, knit a bit, weave in a few ends. Some projects leaving all the ends to weave in later. I would lose the will to live. I understand. Unsure how to change the phone change to June. Did I miss something? I maybe I have missed something. Anyway, someone can tell me. Maybe I've got a typo somewhere. I don't know. Megan, welcome to the chat. It's good to see you in here. Freaky says, I mostly go by the face. Do I know them or not? Fair enough. Vampire says, I like the new thumbnail, but probably change it up every month instead of every week. Awesome. I love that idea. That's a great idea. Claire says the poll is at 50-50. I'm seeing 48-52. No one leaves them in as a dangly aesthetic? Really? Oh, Sal, it's so good to see you in the chat. I hope you're feeling better. Yeah. It's a new thumbnail. Is it a new picture? They all look identical to me since Christmas. It's a new thumbnail, but I'm going to be really honest. I hate taking my photos. So I'll take a few photos all at the same time, choose one or two and use those. So it could definitely be the same photo of me since Christmas. Very likely. I don't know. But the actual image behind it is different. Melissa, I love my ends. As in you love weaving them in? Number one, Claire is the number one channel member. As in number one, she was the first of the channel members. Oh my gosh. Megan says that she weaves in the ends as she goes. I'm watching and stuffing nappies. I hate ends. Sometimes I hate them enough to weave as I go, so I don't hate them so much at the end. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm not a fan of ends, right? I have like a particular way I weave them in. No, I don't. But I weave them in a lot because I hate reweaving in ends even worse than weaving them in the first time. Angela, you've made it to live chat. It's so good to see you in here. Your autocorrect is changing to June. I understand. Where is my bright colored shirt? I can't wear one every week. Otherwise you don't notice when I wear a bright colored shirt, Melissa. Also, I only own 2. The rest are gray and black. Francis didn't notice the difference in the thumbnail. There you go. Sal's says that the year is getting better. The ENT next week to see exactly how well or not well they are working. My fingers are so firmly crossed that there is improvement. Knitspin says, I tend to find your lives from YouTube's notifications. If not, then a different thumbnail helps me work out if I've seen this one or not. Yeah. Autocorrect is evil. Agreed. Yes. Autocorrect tries to change words that I have intentionally typed out to make them less intentional. Tries to make me seem nicer than I am. Oh my gosh. Dolores says that she does prefer to weave in the ends as she goes, but that doesn't always mean that she does. I think that's me. I think that's me. I think I'd prefer to do it that way, but whether I do or not, that's a whole nother story. So yeah, Melissa will notice. I know you'll notice, Melissa. Oh my goodness. So, what have you guys all got in your cup today? I just have 1 cup of hot honey water, and the rest is just plain water. I really didn't feel like tea today. Some days I just don't, it's not super hot here today or anything like that. I just didn't feel like tea. Water for Kathy. Angela's drinking. Look at all us good people drinking water. Wow. My friend Andrew Can would be so proud of us. Melissa is noticing another cool thing, and I am noticing another cool thing and very impressed. What's the cool thing? I don't know what it is. Claire, you really do pick up on when it's 11:11, don't you? Wow. Freaky has water in his tea. Yeah. Leanne says that I remember you shared with us a method of not snipping your woven ends off until your project has had its first wash. That makes sense to me now too. Yeah, definitely. Now I've been snipping as I go on this one because I know I've got to do a border into it, and they're like definitely, making sure that it's all out of the way. So, but yeah, I especially if I'm making a garment or lace, anything with lace, I'll weave in the ends, but I won't trim the end back until after I've washed and blocked, and then I'll trim the ends because I have 100% woven in a beautiful beaded lace shawl. Like I only had a few ends, but there was a couple of ends. Woven it in very carefully, I thought, and then trimmed the ends after I wove it in, gave it a wash. Maybe my wash was a little more vigorous than it should have been. I don't know. The rest of it was fine. I didn't felt anything. But when I was pinning it out, one of the ends I wove in unwove and popped out. And now luckily I caught it just in the nick of time before it started like pulling out stitches. But because you get into the zone and you're stretching and pinning, and like when I'm doing lace, I vigorously block lace, or aggressively block lace, I think is the other term. And so definitely I was probably, so I was in the zone, and I didn't notice this until after I'd pinned everything out, and I'm like, what is that? And it was a tail hanging out, and it was very hard to stop it from getting to where I cast, because it was a cast off tail. And I had to actually join on some yarn to reweave it back in. It was a pain. It was such a pain. So definitely leave that. We've got good old H2O today. Stacey's got a nice iced coffee. Sally has got air in her cup. Worse than weaving in ends is twisting the ends in my weaving. Do you have one of them little twirly twister things, or do you have to sort of do it, manually? The blankets. Melissa wasn't here last week. Of course, we do have blankets in the display now. I moved some things around and added some blankets in. So yeah, definitely. Caroline McMahon will be on the Gold Coast on Monday. Any good yarn shops that she could visit? And if anyone can throw some links into the fun zone. Melissa is a Gold Coast local, so she will toss some in. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. Knitspin Girls is having orange zest tea from Tea Fatalia. We love Tea Fatalia here at Fiberific. My favorite is the mint slice. But I've had there was only one I didn't like, and it's because it has a real smoky flavor, and my brain is not good with smoke. So it automatically was like, no, this is bad. So yeah, other than that, I've loved everything. Air in your cup, is that sugar-free? Yes, and caffeine-free as well, Clay. You could totally enjoy that. There we go. Sally has added in the link over into the fun zone. So if you've got anything you want to add there, you totally can. Oh, Francis, you're doing it manually. If you're weaving a lot, I would definitely recommend checking out the Ashford twisty thinger. It has name. I don't know what its name is. Fringe twirler. Who knows? Check it out. Ashford's got one. So you could got like these little alligator clips, and you clip it in, and then you wind the thing, and it twists them together. So yeah, there's a name for it. Somebody here will know that the actual name, right? Not the twisty thinger, the bitey clip twisty thinger. That's what you guys come here for, isn't it? The technical learning. Oh my goodness. I'll crack myself up. That's cool. If you're weaving, oh, don't forget to bob as well. Very funny. Very funny. The Ashford Fringe Twister. There you go. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you, Knitspin Girls. Knitspin Girls has one, and she says it's awesome. So absolutely go and check those out. And I don't think off the top of my head, I don't think they're particularly expensive, especially considering the time and energy they save. And you know, you might hate doing your weaving ends a little less. Oh, we're back to 50-50 on this poll now. So it's doing well. It's doing well. I just need to look at something over here. There we go. Okay, because I was a bit truncated and I couldn't see how many views we had. Oh, so now I can. Okay, so I'm gonna start weaving at ends. Like that's really what you're all here for, right? Is ends weaving time. Now, just for honesty and clarity, I am weaving in the ends to section 4. I think I'm a whole section behind in the pattern. Yeah. So 5 is out, but I haven't done it yet. All right. So please don't judge me. I'm judging myself harshly enough. So yeah, I'm using the Clover Chibi needles for weaving in. I like the little bent tip. I know not everybody does like the little bent tip, but I really do like it. And it makes it easy to weave it to poke in the little endy. It's got a large eye needle. And I'm just on the wrong side of the blanket. Don't think it actually makes any difference with this particular sort of thing. You still want to make it a bit invisible. You don't want anyone to be able to see the ends on either side, really. So that's, how the others have looked. But I kind of, go backwards and forwards and all over the shop and, just make sure that I am weaving in multiple directions. Where do you get your needles from? Honestly, I sold them up until a couple of months ago. So mine have all come out of my store. But just look for, you can definitely get them off Amazon. You can check out anyone who stocks Clover crochet hooks. They will probably have the chibi needles. If they don't have them, they can probably get them in for you. So I used to get mine from me. I actually have to think about it now. Like, where am I going to get things from now that I can't steal them from my own online store that I shut down? I was looking for a hook the other day and I was just like, oh wait, I can't just buy myself a new one at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night and use it right now. The downside. No judgment here. I'm halfway through the very first stripe of week 5, so not much difference. And I think I read that week 6 is not a full 18 stripes. Oh, that's nice too. So, and is week 7 is a catch-up week as well, if I remember correctly. So there's a few of us doing this Spring Frost cowl. It's from Attic 24. I'm using the kit that they had available. Do they still have the kit available, anybody? It was over on the Wool Warehouse site. I just followed the link from the Attic 24 website. Yes, Knitspin Girl, it has been horribly hot. And now, admittedly, we do have air conditioning, and I have been pumping the air conditioning hard, as my husband pointed out when the electricity bill came. But I have no regrets. Zero regrets. But I still just I've just felt like a bit flat this week. So, like when it comes to crafting. So I have not done any. So I'll catch up. I'm getting good at catching up, like doing a whole week's worth of oops, I just feel like that needs a bit more. A whole week's worth of crochet in like a day and a half. Like that's totally fine to sit and crochet for that long, right? There's no bad health sitting there forever. Let's have a look here. With your blanket, is the stitch pattern the same all the way through? It's just the colors that are changing. Yeah, it appears at this stage that it's just been color charts. So once you work out the actual stitches, you just do the same repeats over and over again, changing the colors as the pattern says. So yeah, I have an equipment question. What do you use for studio headphones, and are there any others that you've been wanting to try? I use the Bose Quiet Comforts as my studio headphones. I don't like Bluetooth headphones in the studio. I have an issue with it. They're getting better for sure, but that there's too many instances where the Bluetooth has been a problem for either myself or other people. Now, if you're talking about headphones when I'm on like a Zoom call, I use the Mi 6 in-ear audio monitors so that they're not seen. They just tuck in my ear. They're not handy. I can't get them for you. But they sit flat in my ear and they're basically invisible. The cord runs behind my back. But again, that is not wireless. I don't like wireless headphones. I don't like Bluetooth in my live stream setup is basically what it boils down to. I like cords and wires where I can keep an eye on everything. Ones that I've been wanting to try, I've been looking at. Oh, I also have the Sony XM4s, which I use wired when I use them in here, but I actually use them mostly for listening to music and audiobooks around the house. So they're Bluetooth connected most of the time. I also sleep in them, truth be told, because I sleep in headphones every single night. Ones I've been wanting to try, I've been looking at the new Sennheisers. They've been looking nice. And also Rode have brought out, they brought out headphones last year, and a friend of mine uses them and he says they're great. So I definitely would like to have a little listen to those. And Rode have also brought out like a microphone attachment that you can put on it. That's not a thing for me. That's not something I like, but it's totally a possibility. Oh, Sally, that's going to be horrible. Vanfit, a Spotlight selling the chibis. Sorry, a packet of chibis for $18. Man, no wonder I just was like, I think I was selling these for like 10 or 11 or something. I can't remember now. But yeah, Dolores says that she's just popped into the wool warehouse and it looks like they're out of stock of these kits. Is that all of the kits or just this particular kit? Because, man, these colors are just so nice, honestly. They are just really, really lovely. That one's well and truly woven in. I lost track. Wild thunderstorms for Jennifer. Please be careful. Please be careful. It's going to be 21 for Claire. Oh, well. I can never find them at Spotlight or Lincraft. Yeah, I would definitely be looking more at even your quilting and sewing stores, because they get Clover cutters in. So anyone that can get in Clover stock can also get in the Clover chibis. So, the Clover roller cutters and the seam rippers and things like that. Anyone who can get those in for you can usually get in the chibis as well. Whether or not they want to is another question, because depending on their distributor, you have to buy 3. So maybe offer to buy 3 sets, depending on the price. But yeah. Sal says, I'm on my third pair of headphones since the pandemic started. Sally, this is one of the things I loved about these guys is I have replaced this section twice now because it can just pop out and you just, I'll have to do it off camera, but there's little nodules for you to pop it back under. And also the cord got broken. My daughter snapped the cord. I was able to buy a replacement cord. So I've had these particular ones now for, I want to say 5 years or so. I'm a headphone killer. I kill the cushions. My XM4s, I've also replaced the cushions on those. So I like a headphone where I can replace the parts. Abby got some Sony Beats, killed them in 12, like the earmuffs started disintegrating at about 12 months old, couldn't replace them. So that was like a $300 set of headphones that died just from wear and tear. There was nothing wrong with the headphones except all the vinyl was peeling off. Yeah, just that particular kit. Okay, cool. So you can still get a Fireside if you want, because I love my Fireside as well with that Stylecraft Heather's yarn. It's so good. I love it a lot. I love my Sennheisers. Yes, Sennheisers are doing really well with headphones right now. Bub, this is a common occurrence. A lot of people have a problem with their chibi cases breaking. There's just a weak point in the plastic. I've seen two main spots that they break, and it's either here or this bit just snaps off. So where the plastic is thinner, it just snaps right off. Oh, they do have the option. Oh yeah, Kathy says the same thing. They typically restock the kits, and they do have the option to notify when back in stock. Okay. Sally says the first pair, the right speaker stopped working. The second pair, the headband part snapped when I went to put it on. Oh my gosh, that would upset me so much. Angela says my mum got me a new set of Beats for Christmas because my other ones broke. A wire snapped. It's so frustrating, isn't it? You're like, they are still good except for this one little thing. Why can't we just repair them? So frustrating. So frustrating. Especially like, you've got to wear in your headphones. Or at least I do. My other issue is I have a little head. So some of them, no matter what I do, there's always like air space between my head and the what do you call them? Headbands. Thanks, Chantelle, with using English as your first language and main language. Bub says mine was on the thread on the lid. Yeah, it's pretty common. It's just a weak point in the packaging, which there's such good needles, and I want to get angry about how dodgy the packaging is, but I just can't because the needles are still good. I just toss them into like another little container because they break on me all the time as well. So yeah, I think it's pretty well the case for everybody, which is frustrating, but the needles are still really good. I've actually none of my needles have rusted or changed shape or anything like that. I've just lost them is when I normally have to replace them. Oh, that's perfect timing. That is perfect timing. I love that. Sally says that they just so happened to snap at the right time because my sister was asking me what I wanted for my birthday. My reply was immediate: a new pair of headphones. Awesome. Game Widow says that she keeps hers in her humbug. I keep my case in the humbug, but I would not put them loose in the humbug, if that makes sense. They would have to still go inside something inside the humbug. But I keep like I've been learning everybody. Where's my other? I had another humbug here before. Here it is. Each humbug project has all its stuff in it. See, like little pair of scissors, little snip, 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 snip. They're so equal and tiny, and I can't remember where I bought them, but I love it. Stitch markers, all that sort of thing in each one. So with my Fireside blanket, it's got the hook, it's got its own chibis because and it's even got, I've put my highlighter in there that I'm using and the scissors, everything. Artug manages to need a new headset every 6 months. He has a big head and one side always stops working once they start warping. Oh, that's annoying. Man, I would not be happy if I had to buy headphones every 6 months. But in saying that, I do spend solid money on headphones. It's one of the things for me. It's like they are a huge part of my daily life. And so I will lay down $400 for a good set of headphones. It's just, yeah, that's just what I do. And then they've basically, all of my headphones that I laid down solid money for have lasted. All of my less expensive ones have not. In saying that, I've recently found a new brand that I've been buying for Tim and Abby called AEST Rhythm. They're about $80. And they have been fairly solid. Now, I also get noise cancelling headphones. The AEST Rhythms, I don't know if they're fully noise cancelling. I'm not using them, but Tim and Abby both seem to like them a lot. They've got them in a few different colors so they don't get theirs mixed up. They've got different colors. So definitely worth checking those out as well. For, you know, listening. They're using theirs as listening. So they're listening to, Tim connects them to the TV so he can sit on, like, there's a TV that's just outside of our bedroom door in his office. And I don't like closing the door, truth be told. So he can have his TV on with whatever volume he likes because he's got it running through his headphones. So yeah. Sal said, I need the over-the-ear headphones. Yeah, I prefer over-the-ear headphones, definitely. Especially considering how long I'm wearing them for. I definitely prefer over-the-ear than in-ear. And I need something that would connect to my Mac and my iPad via Bluetooth. All right. I don't know because I haven't tried to connect. I know that the Sonys connect to my iPad, no problems. I haven't tried to connect them to my Mac because I've got this set in here. That is always set, but they connect with the cord. So yeah, it is definitely it's definitely a thing. Different people have a different priority when it comes to headphones. So the thought of spending that sort of money on headphones is horrific. But I live in my headphones, so I want something that does what I need it to do. Is, you know, basically where I think with that. Get in there, you little stinker. Hey Ruth, welcome to the chat. It's good to see you. We're just weaving in some ends. Weaving in the ends. How's our poll going? Oh, there's a few more sneaking in with the weaving as they go. Now we are broadening the definition as you go to a section at a time or a square at a time. It doesn't have to be a row at the time. Melissa says you are whizzing through those ends. Can I send you mine? That's negatory. No is the answer to that. That's no. So yeah. Moving right along. My concern is I didn't fix my knitting from last week, and because I don't have permission to work on this pattern online, once I finish weaving in these ends, I'm like, what am I going to work on? Maybe I just slow down. Maybe I'll slow down. Lots of discussion in here about options for what you could use instead of the chibi case. And there are a lot of options. There's a lot of things that you could use. You just need to make sure it's long enough is really the biggest issue when it comes to finding storage for your needles. They just need to be long enough. I love the idea of the tins with the magnet in it, like what Sue Ellen's just posted. I think that's a really clever option. Because I don't think there's any real issue if your weaving and needles become magnetized. There's other things that there's an issue if they become magnetized, but I don't think your weaving in needles is one. Leanne, I don't mind weaving in ends, but there's not a hope I do someone else's either. Oh, goodness. I mean, it was worth a try, right? It was totally worth a try. So you're looking at some biodynamics or some Audio Technicas. Have you checked out the reviews on those? Like Bayer and Audio Technica are both solid audio brands. I don't have anything bad to say about either of those brands or anything to watch out for. I think they're both solid. Can you try them on is the question, because different headphones fit differently. So if you can't try them on, you may get them and find that you can't adjust it to a comfortable position for your head. And if you've got to wear them for hours on end, which you'd be using them for video editing as well, then you would definitely be needing some comfort. Which S rhythms? I'll pop a link into the fun zone after the chat. I'll just share the link. Actually, I'll just quickly do it now. While I remember, guys, I'm going to throw in the link of the S rhythms that I bought for Tim and Abby. So I'm going to my account where I've purchased things before. Oh dear, where are they? Things I've purchased. Here we go. Buy again. Let me have a look. Let me find some headphones. It seems I buy a few things from Amazon. Whoops. NC35s. I think it was. There we go. Alrighty, so I would like. Do you know what I am? It's not going to let me share the link, so I'll grab that for over. I'll throw that over in the fun zone after the chat's over. So I'll put in an affiliate link over there. Okay. Because you're in the US, the returns policy is easier for you guys. Okay. All right. Because we do have the returns policy here, but it's a little bit more painful, I think. Top views for podcast. Okay. Then yeah, I definitely give them a bell. See if they're worth. Abby, I thought I put this on silent. It must have. Goodness me. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll put it into today's thread. That's right. But I'll pop in an affiliate link so that you guys can check it. But yeah, there's a few different colors and they're cute. And Abby likes them and Tim likes them, and they're solid for what they're using them for. But yeah, I would definitely make sure that you try them on before you buy, if you've got to wear yours for a long bits of time. Lots of chat about wooden needle holders. Yeah, there's a few, if you find wood turners, they'll quite often have a little needle holder. It's a pretty common one of their things that they make as part of their sort of thing. They use up some scraps of wood, which is awesome. So yes, I realized this morning that I sent I used the wrong Instagram account for making the video for today's live stream. So if you are watching and you came over from the live streaming Instagram, hi, I bet this isn't what you were expecting. I did end up sharing it in the right place. And I will probably remove it from the other Instagram when I've got a chance. Melissa's making jelly. Oh, we did, Sal. I jumped in a bit earlier this morning, but mine is more like a pre-live stream question area. So people were dropping stuff in there before the live. So it's all good. It is all good. I'm trying to be more organized and not feel like you guys have to do jobs for me, because, I feel guilty because I forget every week. And I don't want you to feel like you have to do it or it's not going to get done, which You know, maybe I should have mentioned something. I don't know. It's all good. Doesn't matter. Twice is better than none. No, it's all right, Sally. Leave it there. It's all good. I hope. Oh God, please don't be making lime jelly. I really, you know what? I don't like. I like lime milk. I like limes. I like fresh lime. I like Bickford's lime cordial, but I cannot handle like the lolly lime, like lime cooler cordial or the fake lime lollies or anything like that. Who here likes the lime cooler cordial? That could actually, be a very interesting reasoning as to why I don't like lime jelly and trifle as well. I think it ruins the flavor. Port wine and orange. Yeah, I like both those. Both those work. Abby tends to be our jelly maker here. And Abby's back to TAFE today. They last week she didn't have classes because the teacher was sick. So they ran none of the class. There's apparently only one teacher teaching this thing. So they didn't have a substitute or anything. They just were like, yep, soz. Come next week. Here's some work to do. Sal says, I don't like anything lime. The only lime I like is maybe a slice of it in a Corona beer. Yeah, so that's more fresh lime, which is a totally different flavor profile. I like fresh lime in lots of stuff. Gin, tequila. Oh, dear. Oh, and squeezed onto like salsa verde. Oh, sorry, I'll pop that away. That's just sitting there. I like fresh lime squeezed onto tacos. I like lime on fish as well. Lemon's good, but I prefer lime if I can have lime. My lime tree lost all its flowers, so we didn't get any fruit last season, but I just noticed we're getting some fruit out there now. Cannot wait. Bring me the limes. Like, it's quite often it's like, oh my God, there's too many limes. I cannot eat this many limes. Who wants limes? Holy cow, there's so many limes. I haven't had a decent amount of limes off the tree now for 2 fruiting seasons. Fresh lime and guacamole? Absolutely. Absolutely. Artificial lime with the bright green color? No, thanks. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same. In saying that, I like lime flavored milk, which I know is weird and it's okay. And I understand how wrong it is, but I still like it. Knitspin Girl says, I like lime cooler cordial. Haven't had it in years though. Like how many years? See, I remember liking it as a kid. And then I bought some and went, ew. So maybe it was either the recipe changed or the taste buds grew up for me. I do like lime marmalade. Absolutely. Because it's made with fresh limes. It's got that zing. It's very good. Sal, if you haven't tried it, don't knock it because you like fresh limes. There's a good chance you'll like, unless you don't like marmalade. Like if you're one of those people that just don't like marmalade, which then I don't understand you at all. Because I love marmalade. Then yeah. So I'm nearly caught up with NCIS. I've nearly watched all of the standard NCISs. I'm up to nearly season 17. So I think there's 18 seasons. And then I can start watching some other shows because I'm just trying to power through it. I realized at which point I stopped watching because I was trying to work out when and where I stopped watching and why I stopped watching. And it was when Denozo left. That's when I stopped watching. And I think it was just a case of I missed some episodes after that. And then I can't go back and like having skipped episodes, especially when there's a major timeline like plot twist like that. I need all the details or I feel lost, so I can't watch it. Sal says I have an NCIS on in the background right now. Oh my gosh, Sally, that is so cool. Oh, you're not a big fan of marmalade. All right, well, okay. I love marmalade. I tend to buy Rose's marmalade when I buy marmalade from the supermarket here in Australia. Otherwise, I make it because it's actually not hard to make. But for some reason, I can't seem to just make like a couple of jars. I always make like 6 or 7 jars worth of marmalade, and that lasts me like I have to give some away because a jar of marmalade lasts me 6 months easily. So ginger marmalade, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. I love ginger marmalade as well. And are you ready? Are you all sitting down? I like pineapple marmalade. So pineapple marmalade is another good one. It's got like a good like zing. I think that's the thing. You've got the sweetness of the marmalade, but also a tang in the fruit. That's what I like about it. Oh, Game Widow stopped when Abby left. Okay. Yep. I have to say I do like the new the new. I mean, she's been on there for ages now, but I like the new forensic scientist they picked. I think she was really cool. She was quirky and fun, but very much did not try to just be the new Abby, if that makes sense. I had no idea that limes contain a naturally occurring chemical when exposed to UV light can result in burns called a margarita burn. Yes, I'm serious. A boy at Byron Bay made the news this week. Really? We have to look that out. Like what? Like did he eat heaps of it or something? I don't know. I mean, I like margaritas also. I haven't had many, but I know I like them. Russell says pineapple marmalade and ginger ale make a great ham glaze. Yes, I can imagine that they would. Because pineapple does amazing things to ham. Like there's enzymes in it that, that do stuff. The doing stuff enzymes. Oh, I should have done the gray. Anyway, I'm on purple now. Purple, purple, purple. Where are we at? Man, I'm going to be finished weaving these ends soon. And then what am I going to do? What should I do once I finish weaving in the ends? Because I have not fixed my cowl mistake yet. And that's a big one. I can't do it on camera. It was too big for my brain. I'm going to have to like drop stitches and I don't want to tinker back an entire row if I can avoid it. Although it would probably be faster to tinker back an entire row, fix the mistake, than it is going to take me to drop the stitches and bring it back up the right way. I don't know. I don't 100% know what I did wrong. I know I definitely did something wrong. Oh, that's why going out in sunlight after using lemon or lime essential oils is not recommended. Okay. Righto. Start a new project. Where is that one? Yeah, let's do that. Let's just start a new project. No, I've got 3 projects on the go right now. I'm already feeling guilty. That I'm working on 2 blankets at once, and neither of which I can work on during the lives because they're both Attic 24 blankets and I don't have permission. Do you know what? I've got some gorgeous dark blue and cream cotton, and I think I'm going to have to find a crochet with Claire pattern because I have a feeling that she'd let me work on it during a live stream. No pressure, Claire, just to throw you under the bus on that one. But I've got a feeling that she would possibly let me work on it during a live stream. So if you guys have any suggestions of a crochet with Claire blanket that will look good in dark blue and white, and I also have a little bit of red so we can do some red accents, then send me the link and I can talk to Claire, I can ask her, see if I'm allowed, beg if she says no. Oh, yes, and some amazing Bendigo pastels are coming as well. I do have them coming. I did buy them in 4-ply instead of 8-ply. But they are actually also mostly for Abby. She picked them for something she wants. So I only have a couple coming for me. I don't know if there's enough to do a blanket. Claire's new mosaic pattern. How would that look in 2 colors, do you think? Just out of curiosity. Like with a little pop of red here and there. I definitely have enough to make a blanket. I bought enough to make a blanket because I was going to do something. I was going to knit a blanket with it. That was my goal. I was going to knit a blanket, and then I realized the pattern I wanted. I did a swatch. The front looked amazing. The back looked terrible. And I was just like, I'm not going to line it with anything on the back, because it was, and I should have thought about it, and I should have realized, because it was color work. And so, of course, there were going to be floats, and I just didn't consider the ramifications of floats on a blanket, how much I dislike it. I know lots of people have no problems, but I dislike floats on a blanket because I'm that person whose little toes will get caught up in them. So I had to back burner that project. Yeah, I do like the idea of her new mosaic project, because I really did enjoy working on Tina's mosaic as well. So yeah. You think it would look good with 2 colors with little pops of red? Yeah. I could just do like randomly insert it into, like, not even a whole row, but just like, every now and again, just, I'd be, do you know what? My brain's already like, oh, I'd have to make a pattern, some sort of secret code. It's like, no, I don't. I need to set up a random number generator so that I don't try and do that. I remember when I was doing my Craft Yarn Council of America Teach the Teacher training, that the instructor was like we had to prove that we could do like scrumbling, which is a freeform crochet, which I don't do because my brain tries to make a pattern out of it. It really does. Does anyone remember the lime? Is it Line or Lime Cream chocolate bars? I think they were Fry's brand. The only thing I've ever had that was Fry's brand is Turkish Delight, which I love. I don't think I've had a cream chocolate bar from Fry's. Sal said even the mile a minute would work. See, now I'm going to have to go and look. Not right this second, because I'm still weaving in ends. And I really don't know if I want to start another blanket. Oh my God. Do I want to start another blanket? Gosh. It's something I can work on during the live streams and not have to worry about getting permission every 15 minutes. That would be good. I kind of missed that about the Queen. The Queen was easy because I had permission from Tina to work on the Queen. And I do have permission from Laura to work on my knitted cow. So I could still rotate between the two. Would you consider the 8-point star blanket? Probably not. I've made one many years ago. It was not my favorite process. I don't know. Have you made one? Has anyone else made the 8-point star blanket? I've made crochet bags and then I don't use them. I don't like how heavy they are. So yeah. Oh, Talia says it's pouring at her place. I've got all my windows open. So hopefully it's not going to be pouring here for a little bit. Or at least Is it just straight down or is it sideways rain? Because straight down I'm okay, but if it's sideways rain, I'm gonna have to run and shut some windows. Oh, you got caught outside hanging out washing. Oh no. Now, Melissa was saying last week, when we were talking about, which parts of the blanket we're up to, because Melissa is also working on this blanket. And she was saying how I hadn't read part 5's instructions at all about, there was some instructions on the part 5 about how much yarn that you need for the border and things like that. So I started weighing the balls as I work a row. So I think I'm going to be okay, because Addict 24 says that she uses about 12 grams a row, whereas I use 10.5 to 11. So I should be okay. So yeah. Oh, it's diagonal rain. Straight down for Stacy. Okay, Stacy, I think you're a bit closer to me, aren't you? Guys, I am just going to go and double check especially my front window. So I'll be right back in a second, okay? I'm back. I only had a couple of windows to shut, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's not actually raining here yet, but it's starting to smell like it's going to rain. Builders next door. Oh no, power tools in the rain. Oh gosh. Oh, Ruth's having a bowl of chili right now. Oh my gosh. So I hear about American chili, Ruth, and I don't really understand what it is. Like, I watch the Hallmark movies where they have chili making contests. So if you have a recipe for a good chili for me to make and try, pop it in the fun zone. That would be amazing. Not just Ruth, like anybody, but if Ruth's eating a bowl right now, so I'm assuming she made it. Yeah, me. I just kind of like, for me, I think what it boiled down to was I was able to buy these kits, and that made a huge difference, because when I'm choosing blankets, where I struggle the most is what I'm going to make it out of, and will I have enough yarn? Because I'm just going to switch cameras. Here we go. That was yarn chicken, that was yarn chicken, and that was yarn chicken. And this one here, I end up having to get yarn from crazy places. This one here, I managed to get extra of this color of somebody over on Ravelry, and I'm terrible at estimating how much yarn I need for these projects, right? So having it so that that doesn't quite sit. There we go, cover that up. Having it so that I didn't have to think about that. That made a huge difference. That really eased the paralysis, like the project paralysis off. But if you don't want to get a kit and you want to make it, and you've got to sort of sit down and work it out all yourself. I like with my queen, I didn't buy a kit, but I saw a kit, like one of the colorways that they'd made, and I really liked that kind of sunrisey, sort of Mexican-y themed colors. I mean, I loved the colors that they use. So I found a color range that I could get access to, and I picked colors as similar to that as I could. I had to choose some additional different colors that they just didn't have. So I had to sort of add in some extras that I wasn't sure about, but they looked fine together. Luckily for me, I had, because I was using the Knit Brava worsted, and I've got another project here that's been naughty cornering it now for about 3, 4, probably no longer, 5, 6 years. And it had like a ridiculous amount of colors. So I was able to put the colors right next to each other. I didn't have to sort of guess, which I felt helped me a lot when I was ordering colors. In saying that, I did misorder and I did not get anywhere near enough of the purple. So I had to go and order again and get more purple. But when it comes to choosing the colors, if it's a blanket, like if it's a gift, you've got to think about the person who you're gifting it to, if it's colors that they will like, if it's for you, which room you're going to put it in. You want it to look nice in that room. You don't want to be having to like, oh, I love the blanket, but the colors are just like, which I've definitely done that before, because I was just using colors I had. Yeah. Well, yeah, Leanne, I tried to work out the math for the queen because I was using worsted weight yarn instead of DK yarn, so the meterage was off, and I was also added 2 additional repeats. So I had to sort of do some guesstimating, and I think I did pretty well, except I forgot to do the same math. Like I did the math for how much I was going to need for the blanket, not allowing any for the border. And then I ran out halfway through the blanket. So I ended up needing an additional 10 balls of the purple. So I'd only bought 10. So I'd only bought half as much of the purple, which was my color that ran through the whole blanket. Knitspin Girl says, I bought the Attic 24 kit for the ripple blanket. I love not having to think about which color to use next. I may have bought another one in a different colorway. I'm loving the Attic 24 kits. Honestly, I've now had 2. This one and the Fireside. I've not completed either blanket because I started them both around the same sort of time. I think I'm doing okay. I'm pretty well keeping up with the Cal on this one. The other one was not a crochet along. It was just a kit. So the yarn quantities seem fine. I don't feel like I'm running out, like because of this one as well, because I measured, like I've stuck them all on scales. I think I'm going to have plenty enough for the border. So apparently, according to the pattern, we need approximately, she uses 12 grams of yarn for each color stripe, which is 2 rows. Then you'll need approximately 25 grams of yarn of each color to do the border. So, yeah, I mean, I'm very curious as to know what the border is going to be. So, yeah, there we go. This is the last. Well, that only took an hour. What are we going to do for the next hour? We could hit up Claire's website and we can fight over which pattern I should do next. Should I just DM Claire and quickly go, hey, hey, Claire? Because Claire's not in the chat anymore, is she? She came in at the start and then bailed on us. Is that right? So, because we can always hit up Claire's website and I can screen share it and we can have a talk over different ones. And I can pop out to the storage crate, which is just out the door that's got all the yarn in it. Oh, Lisby, thank you. Sue Singleton says she's done the spring frostbit in her own colors, but I did do something I've never done before. I bought $2.50 a ball acrylic and it's turning out brilliantly. Oh, that is awesome. That's so good. Yeah, I think, because what did this work out? I think this one worked out at around $75 Australian. That included postage from the UK. how many colors has this got? Is this from 12 or 15? But so let me just, based off 12, I'm going to go off 12. So 75 divided into 12. That makes them $6.25 a ball. Not exceptionally cheap. But I got every color I needed and I didn't have to think about it. So yeah, well, I've woven in all the ends of this section, and I like to have a little marker that just reminds me which is the right side. So I'll just bring that guy up a little. So I am ready to start section 5, which I can't do right now. Oh, retreat, you may ask. What retreat? Yes, the Fiberific retreat, August 4th to 6th. If you would like to come, there are still a few spaces left. We can take your deposit and have you fill out your form. Hang on, I'll show you how big it's getting. All right, so we're up to section, this is section 4 is completed. So there's section 5, apparently section 6 isn't as big. And then 7 is a week off, and then 8 is the border, I think. So this is where we're at. So it's getting, so I've got it just resting on the ground and it's here. Just touching the ground. So, yep. It's a good lap rug size right now in the corner for you. Okay. Excuse me. At least I got the dates right today. I mean, yeah. Thanks. Okay, water time. Yeah, it is so pretty. It's looking so good. I'm very happy with it. I am curious as to know what the border is going to look like because I haven't seen any photos with the border. So apparently it's got a border. So yeah. But yes, it is. It's good spring colors, and these are kind of all the tones of colors that Abby's into. She has bags to this for her car. Apparently, all cars need a blanket. None of our cars have ever had a blanket, so I don't know where that's coming from. So it's going in her car back seat. And she's already like told me I have to make it at least this long and at least this wide because she wants to lay it across the seat. I'm like, righto, Abby. So yeah, I mean, she has decorated her car. Okay, so she bought a little solar powered hula dancer, and that sits there and just wiggles in the sun. It's kind of funny. She loves it. Anyway, retreat. Fiberific retreat is happening August 4th to 6th. We will be having such a fun time. It is a little ways from the airport, so if you do need to fly in, you will need to organize a car or transport from the airport out to the venue. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours ish, depending on the traffic. But once you're there, you don't need your car. You just park it in the car park, unless you're like me and just use it for additional storage. But we have so much space. We each have a 6-foot table and a chair where there's like 2 power points so you can have a lamp and charge your phone or bring your Cricut or your sewing machine or whatever it is that you want to work on. There is no craft police, just encouraging people, helping us finish off our projects, start new ones, choose colors. There's tons of layout tables. So if you've brought a whole pile of your squares or something and you're trying to decide what order, you can lay them all out and have a good look at it. So there's tons of space that you can do. Yes. So if you want to come along to that, send me a DM. I will send you the form and you can have a look and decide if you would like to come. It's fully catered. So Leonie at Stacey's at the Gap, she feeds us and looks after us. We basically get called to the tables. The food is laid in front of us. We nom the food and then we go back and craft, and Leonie cleans up and does everything. So it is definitely it's I love that we can just focus on our craft. So yeah, Holly keeps one of her crochet blankets in her car. Should I keep one of my blankets in my car? because I do have a selection. And that's not all of them. That's just what fit in there. So, I mean, or we could make one of the new ones. The fireside is going to my dad. So that one, not that one. And this one's going to Abby. So not that one. And I don't know if I want a white blanket in my car. So probably not the new one that we're going to make either. So I'm going to pop out and grab the yarn for the pattern that we need to choose, because my brain's telling me I bought 8-ply for it. But I'm like, but did I? Did you really buy 8-ply? I don't know. So I'm going to go and grab the yarn, and I'll be back in just a second. Emma, say hey to Abby for me, and I'll see you later. So I just need to go over here and pop in my Be Right Back screen. I'll be back. I'm back. Okay. Alrighty. So it is definitely 8-ply. And I have 2 balls of pomegranate. So let's go like this. Move the keyboard back. Move the mouse back over here. All these things that you guys don't normally see. All right, we have 2 balls of the pomegranate, which is a really nice, bright, good cherry red. This is looking quite orange on the screen. It's not orange red at all. It's a good cherry red. So that's a pomegranate 8-ply. Then we also have the French navy and cotton snow. And I think there's 4 balls of each of those. Yes, there's 4 each of these 2, and then 2 of those. Yes. So, oops. I'll have to double check to see if that just showed my address online. Pop you down there, heavy bag of stuff. So we have, and these are 200-gram balls, with 485 meters on each ball. So yeah, it's a nice red. It's a good solid red. And then we've got the navy blue and the cotton snow, and I think they look really good together. I'm very happy with them as colors together. So I'll just pop that one aside just so that it's a bit more balanced. Maybe that one there. Yeah, because there's a bit more light over this side. Okay. So we've got a ton. We've got tons and tons of meterage. Let me just grab my things. So we've got, so it's 4 and 4. So we've got 10 balls. So 485 by 10 is 4,850 meters, or 2,000 grams, so 2 kilos. They do sit lovely together, and the colors are so very nice. I love this French navy. It's so good. Not the hugest fan of the white, just because like it's white and I can't seem to not stain white things. It's just me. I'm a grub. So, but yeah, so we need something that we'll use. So we definitely have more of these colors than we do the red. Because of what I was going to do before, it just needed like a little pop of the color. Whereas I'm not doing that pattern now. That's why I bought, otherwise I would have bought 4. I would have made it even. So we can totally do something. So let's see. Crochet with Claire. I just need my keyboard. there. Let's go to her website. Alrighty, so if I go to StreamYard and present, share screen, choose a tab, share the tab. Oh, are you kidding me? I have to update it. Far out. Let me do this. Do you know what? I'm not going to be able to do it because it wants me to do something else first. And I want to look into that because that just feels wrong to me. It feels off. They said, not true, not just you. I can't. Oh, you can't keep white nice and white either. Oh, okay. So let me just. Oh, there we go. I don't have to do it at all. It was a pop-up. All right, let's see if I can share the screen now. All righty. No, it does. It wants me to do that. Otherwise, I can't share the screen. Is that right? Can you guys see what I'm looking at here? There we go. Okay. So blankets. See, I really do love the look of the easy mosaic. Definitely. Pop-ups are annoying. Yeah, they really are. Thank you, Sally. So I definitely like that one. And I love the Scraptastic Granny. But what I'm thinking about the Scraptastic Granny is I do have more Bendigo cotton. I got some in purples and a few others. So I'm thinking I'm going to save that for that. So leftovers of this project will go into there. I thought she had more blankets up. Maybe not. The easy mosaic goes quickly. Do you think we'll lose anything by having, because I'm thinking I would probably go the dark blue as the gray. What do you guys think of that? Let me just open this pattern up. I see it looks good with the dark color as the main color. Oh, that might just be the shop. Hang on a second. There's probably more if I go outside of the shop. Afghans. There we go. Because I was in the shop. Because so with Claire, you can either use her free patterns on her website or you can pay for the PDF so you don't have to deal with ads. I personally pay for the PDFs because I don't like ads. Oh, we do. We have more choice. Okay. So that's the granny. I do like this spiked stitch one. That's clever. But I think it would suit more colors, if that makes sense. And was this the one you were talking about, the mile a minute? I don't know if I would. Yeah. Kathy, you're right. Using the envelope border is definitely something I love, and I'm very much missing not having to weave in the ends right now. So I am definitely leaning more towards the her mosaic. Yeah. Do you guys reckon it'll work? Lark's-foot stitch would look great in these colors. I don't know which one Lark's-foot stitch is. Is that this one, someone's mistake crochet? There was it had a name, but I can't remember what it was. But yes, I'm definitely tempted. So I don't know. We can't really start if I can't decide, can we? Because what I was thinking is, like, with the mosaic crochet, right? If we went with the mosaic one, do the dark blue with mostly white. And then every now and again, just randomly choose the stitch section, not a whole row, but just a random stitch section in the red. What do you guys think? But yeah, I think the lark's foot, I think it needs more color. Or at least I would need more red, I think. Can you do a mug rug? And that's a perfect idea. Knit spin girls. That's a great idea. I can totally do a mug rug and test out how the colors go together. That's a fantastic idea. I'm like, can I do it right now? Because I'm like, I don't have permission from Claire yet. I'll have to ask her. She's probably likely to say yes, but I still want to ask. I just sent her a message. Hey, Claire, put you on the spot. Claire on the spot. Claire on the spot. Am I allowed to work on your mosaic? What's it called? What's it called? What does she call that pattern again? In my live streams, please. Asking you live. Everyone knows, no. Oh my gosh. Okay. Because I think a mug rug would be a fantastic way to test it out. Because I was sort of sitting here going, oh yeah, I just want little pops of red, but then how would I actually do that? Do you know what I mean? Like I would have to actually end off, rejoin yarn, blah, blah, boring bits to weave in every time I change color. Easy mosaic crochet. Thank you. Claire's not near her phone right now, it seems. But yes, I definitely think, oh, and Kathy put a link in for the lark's foot, so I can check that one out as well. So maybe I can do a swatchy swatch mug rug for that as well. I love that. I was like, oh, I'll just start a blanket. Let's not swatch and oh, thumbs up from Claire. Yay! Everyone, is everyone saying yay or just me? Everyone. I'm thinking I'm going to go the blue as the main color. Hang on, I keep using this like the blue is the main color, the white as the other color, and then the red as just the occasional pop. Or I mean, I could even do the occasional red stripe, right? Everybody in the chat says yay. Lots of yay in the chat too. All right. Well, you know what? I didn't even look at the pattern, so I'm gonna have to look at the pattern to work out how to do it. Has anyone made one? Can just tell me what I need to do. I need a hook. A hook's always a good start. It's 8-ply cotton. A 4mm hook's probably a good place to start swatching with. Start with the blue. There we go. Go from the inside. No pressure, Claire. If she ever comes back to the chat. No pressure. Okay. So let me just go back. I'm just going to quickly buy the downloadable. Buy, add to cart, check out, file download, check out. Oh man, you guys can't see everything I'm adding in here, can you? I'm not sharing the screen. IFIC.com. I don't even spell my name. Stop looking at me while I type. Oh dear. Can't spell while you look. Queensland. There we go. Next. Next. Because I have two-factor authentication on everything, I need my two-factor authentication for my PayPal. There we go. I hope this downloads the pattern immediately. We'll find out. Yay! There's the pattern. It's immediate download. I love that. I hate it when you like buy stuff and you've got to like wait an hour for them to send you the code or something. Not at all frustrated by it. Not at all frustrated. Okay. So Claire recommends a 4mm hook with 8-ply or DK. This is technically, I need to say it, technically not a DK, right? Hear that, Australian Woolen Mills or Bendigo Woolen Mills? This is not technically a DK, so maybe I should go down to a 3.5. What do you guys all use for your Bendigo 8-ply? Do you use a 4mm or do you go the 3.5? I think I'm going to go the 3.5 in all honesty. Because what are you? 3. What color is the 3.5 again? It's a reddy pinky color. There it is. So yeah, I'm going to do the test with the 3.5. I happen to have an empty chibi case, not chibi, an empty Game Widows case for starting a new project, so the hook can go in there when I'm not using it. Okay. So multiples of 8 plus 5, starting with your main color. Work your stitches. Excuse me. So does she give me the instructions on how much do I need for a mug rug? No. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to swatch it too. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want it longer than that, don't we? How big is a mug rug usually? Oh, there's going to be some serious yarn bath happening here in a minute. Hello, center of the ball. Look at you. You should be ashamed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Single crochet across. 1, 2. In the second chain from your hook, single crochet across. I can do this. I can do this. Okay. All right, guys. I've started. I've got work to do. I can work on it as we chat. Sorry, I just needed to concentrate for just a second. Just finished the last shell on my border. Just need to sew in the ends, and my stash blanket is ready for my daughter to wash. Yes, that is awesome. I'm so glad that is, that's so awesome. I'm so happy. Jen Homewood, welcome to the chat. Use a 3.5. Stacey uses a 4. Swatch it and see what works. Good point. For the easy mosaic, I'm using a worsted Aran weight and DK for the other colors. The worsted looks like pillows. Oh, nice. That is awesome. Okay, so I'm just singling across. Okay, so thanks for bearing with me while I paused and bought the pattern and now that I'm swatching it and we have permission from Claire to work on it during the live stream. Now, if you want to check out Claire's video, I'm sure one of our amazing moderators will pop a link in so that if you guys want to follow along, you totally can. I'm not going to be doing a tutorial on this, although I may say things out loud, like when I was working out how many repeats I wanted for this little mug rug. Oh my gosh, this is total yarn buff. So if you want to play along at the same time, you can either do what I did, which is just go and buy the PDF, so that I can just work from a written pattern. Or if you prefer to work from a video, Claire has step-by-step instructions on her video. Jen has been doing amazing things, cleaning the entire bathroom top to bottom while listening. That is fantastic. Can you come and do mine? Mine desperately need doing. I can't reach up high, so I need the up highs done because my arm is still being naughty, and I really should go and see somebody about why, when I dislocated my arm a million years ago, why it still hurts. Maybe it's just not back in properly. I don't know. Oh my gosh, how dare they? How dare they expect you to converse with them? But I totally understand because mine do the same thing. I found my lace pattern and started working on it. Fantastic. That is awesome. And Sally in with the links, and Leanne in with the links as well. The Claire's links to Leanne and Sally have both linked to Claire's video on how to make this blanket. Well, I'm doing the mug rug version just to trial it out to see if I'm happy with my color choicings. Now, the more I think about it, while I love the idea of the little like occasional section of red, which I love that idea, I don't love the idea of me making more ends for myself to do just for the sake of a bit of extra color. So I'm going to do the occasional row of red. It will not have the same imagery, but it will save my sanity. So aesthetic, sanity, aesthetic, sanity. I'm going with sanity. I don't know. Which would you choose? Would you choose as the aesthetic or the sanity? I could try the pops of color on this one and see if I want to stab somebody later. Excellent question, Sally. For those of you that have made this before, how many colors did you use and how much yarn for each color was used for the blanket? Excellent information, excellent questions. Because because Claire makes things and allows you to use whatever you want and make it any size that you want. There's no real instruction on how much yarn used. Actually, what I should do is weigh this because I've used these two colors for some scrubbies. They're not full balls. So before I get too far down the well, I'm going to work out how much yarn I had. In you go, little ball. Okay, so there's over 200 grams, and I've used this for scrubbies. So there's 201 grams, and I used it for scrubbies. So same for this one. Oh, wait. Maybe it wasn't teared off properly. Hello, Louis. What do you want, big boy? He would like to go outside, I'm sure. Can you stop that? Oh, it's because the fan's blowing on it. Let's block the fan. It's on 0. 200.9. Like, seriously, it's a 200 gram ball. I've already used it. Oops. 203. I mean, I much prefer to have the balls overweight than underweight. Louis. Okay, so this is a red one. I have not used it at all. 209. Okay, cool. All right, so there is at least 200 grams in each ball. So I can base it off that. Sorry, Lulu, you have to wait. He's like, I don't want to wait. I a dog. Okay. Oh, Sally put the link in for the double border. Okay, so we have the tutorial for the double border as well as a tutorial for the blanket. Okay, so now back onto the bricks and mortar blanket. Starting with your main color. Okay, so we finish off this row. Okay. Sorry, guys, I am learning as I go here. And then apparently we don't turn. So joining our contrast color on, which is the white, is our main contrast color. Come here. There we go. We join on and back loop only. Okay. Now single crochets into the back loop only all the way across. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I'll come back to you guys. All right. It will make a nice pop to add the occasional red row. Okay. I'm using scraps except for the main color. I'm not sure how many colors, but over 10. Yeah, Kathy's looks gorgeous, honestly. All right. I am glad I went down to the 3.5. I think the stitches would be, because I'm also a loose crocheter. So I have to also make that allowance in the fact when I'm choosing hook sizes to swatch with, I crochet fairly loosely. Short stitches, but loose stitches, if that makes sense. You know, some people, their stitches pull long. So, yeah. Alrighty. My hands are shaking. I've never done this before. Gotten permission and worked off someone's pattern without having actually ever read the pattern. I have not read the pattern through. And my brain's going, you haven't read the pattern through. Why didn't you read the pattern through? You should read the whole pattern before you start. You are lining yourself up for failure. You are a Gumby. Stop doing this. Go back and read the entire pattern. And I'm like, I don't have time to read the entire pattern. I want to crochet live right now. So my hands are shaking. Isn't that bizarre? Our brains are so weird. Brains are weird. Who else has a weird brain? Is it just me? It could just be me. I have a very weird brain. My brain does basically whatever it wants, goes on holidays when I don't want it to. So I'm like, I'm trying to concentrate on a thing brain. The brain's like, yeah, but no, I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that thing. Okay. Louis is basically trying to dig himself out of the house right now. I can hear much digging happening. The mistake I made was the storage for my crates are outside of the sliding door that he goes out of. So I popped in and out of that door. And now he's like, oh, that door works today, does it? Yeah, packs up and leaves without me. Absolutely it does. Leanne has a weird and old brain. Dolores says, definitely not just you. Weird brain here too. Only kicks in when it feels like it. Yeah. I'm like, hello, I would like to do this thing. That's great. We're going to do this other thing instead. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. Now, we've gone to the end of that row. It's a bit twisty. That'll even itself out later. Okay. Finish off. Then we go back with our main color. Back with the main color. Try and get rid of some of the yarn buff before I join it onto anything would be clever. That would be a smart thing to do, right? Made of smart, SMRT. Okay. Join back on. Join with a slip stitch in the back loop only. Oops. And then single crochet into the same stitch, single crochet into the next 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then do that. How many times? Oh, okay, that should be easy enough. Sorry, guys. I'm learning a new thing. You get to see how I learn. I normally learn off camera and then come back in. All right, let me check the chat here. Leanne's feeling a little burnt out today. Oh, it's feeling a little burnt out. Yep. I have a weird brain and both my parents agreed with me. Oh my gosh, what did I miss? We're crocheting. When I'm starting a new pattern, I get nervous too. I always go into a quiet room for the start of the pattern. After a few rows, I'm the same. I don't normally start new patterns live on camera. Today I am. I haven't even, I've watched the video through once when it first came out. I've not even tried swatching for it. So, I mean, which is technically what we're doing now, right? I'm allowed to stuff this up because I'm swatching for it. So, yeah, I'm allowed to screw it up. So I'll just keep telling my brain that. It's okay if we screw it up. This blue and this white look so awesome together. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. That one is there, so that one goes there. Louis still digging. He's going to dig through a screen door. It's like he's digging louder. It's like, I'm not sure if you can hear me in there. I'm currently digging. I'd like to go outside, pretty please. I am a good boy. I would like to get in a red row just to see how it looks with the occasional red. Man, I always forget how much I like working with Bendigo cotton. It's so nice on your hands, honestly. If you guys are in the US and you don't know what I'm talking about, I believe they ship internationally. I know the shipping costs are expensive, but just remember Aussie dollar is trash against the American at the moment. So it would still be great value for you guys to check it out. It's such a gorgeous yarn to use. And they're having some special colors for just a little bit of time. I think it's August 12th that finishes with the new colors or until they're sold out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go there. My biggest concern is when I get to the end of this row, if I have screwed up the repeats or you know, done not enough here. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm doing it right. So, I mean, we'll find out when we get to the end if it's good or not. I definitely need a quiet when starting a new pattern, especially when stitch counts is super important. I mean, look, the reality is we can fudge over the edges with the border, right? So if it's only a stitch or 2 out, it'll be like, yeah, whatevs. Especially for this one, because it's the swatchy one. It doesn't matter that much. But absolutely, when I'm deciding which patterns to bring on and do, I definitely try, like the cowl, I did not cast on with you guys, I don't think. I think I sat down and did that first. Soz, Dolores, not Soz. Dolores is trying hard not to help buying yarn. I read the email from Bendigo regarding the cotton, and I'm trying really hard to resist. I did not try hard to resist at all. I just went pretty straight to the website and bought like some. Look at that. We did it. We got the right number. Woot. Although I probably would have liked to have begin and end on closed ones. Claire begins and ends on open ones. There'd be a reason. Okay, so which Bendigo cotton would you recommend for blankets? 8 plies DK. Yeah, look, honestly, if you're used to worsted, even the 8 ply is going to feel fine for you. It is definitely more comparable to a sport weight. But they call it an 8 ply. I don't know why they call it an 8 ply. They just do. I would definitely be looking at the 8 ply for you, Kathy, unless you want to try something. Unless you want to try, he's now trying to steal things from inside this room to attract my attention. He's just literally tried to steal a bobbin off a spinning wheel. I know what you want. You're going to have to wait. Okay. I do want to do another white row before I do a red row. So just let me double check the pattern. Repeat row 2. This, I actually really like this, the simplicity of this. This will be like I loved the mosaic that we did, like the Queen, right? I thought the Queen was amazing, and I'm so glad I made one. But this, like there's a row of just straight across, like the contrast row. There's no up and downing with it. There's no single doubles. So it makes it for a very easily mindless project. I think it could be a very easily mindless project once I'm could you do 2 stripes of red on both ends of the mug rug? I possibly could have if I had already not done it. I'll do a red stripe next. I just wanted to, because the first stripe will always be sort of, I mean, now that I think about it, I think having the red on the first stripe would have been good because that will be covered by the border. So having the pop of red right there around the border would be amazing. But this is the test. I'll do that for the blanket, I think. I'll do the red stripe first and last, and then also the occasional pops here and there. If I follow a link but wanted, I think I missed it. Yeah, so let me just crochet across quickly, because when you do tutorials, this is the bit that you speed up or be like, I'll meet you at the end. But when we're live, we can't do that. You just have to stitch the stitches. Just keep stitching. We're nearly there. Now, is this one, are we stacking this, or does this one, we just stack this one, don't we? It doesn't zigzag. Back to the top. Yeah, it's just straight stacking. Cool. I know what I'm aiming for, at least. So I think it could look cool alternating as well. Just saying. For something different. Alrighty. Now, my question is, should we do pops of red instead of a white, or a row of red instead of a dark blue? Just out of curiosity. Because I was originally thinking the white, but yeah, I think we'll do it instead of the white, because otherwise we're messing with the contrast color. We're messing with the main color, and that's less hint of, pop of, rather than take over. But we can try that as well, on another row, because we can try all of the things. because this is our test one. Pops of red instead of white? Yeah, I think so too. Now, before I forget, I am going to end our poll. And having, I'm surprised that more people are into the old, into weaving as they go. That does surprise me. It's not bad. I'm just surprised. I'm happily surprised. So we'll just scooch across, scooching across to the other side. And you don't have to think about it. Like once you've done that first one, because we're stacking on top of each other, other than making sure that you're getting 4 in between the stacks, you don't have to sort of think about where you're putting your hook or anything like that. It's just like, there it goes into the top of the other treble or double crochet or whatever country you're from, what you call it. But into this longer stitch because they stack on top of each other. I love that. The simplicity. This is going to be one of those great sort of mindless projects where the hardest thing will be for me is choosing where I stick the little pop of red. Part of me wants to use a hammer on this new keyboard to see if that'll loosen the keys, but some keys like to push extra letters out and I don't want to break it that much. Wow, what keyboard did you get that it's just being so painful? There should be a way, like, does it need some like graphite powder or something? Like, I don't know what the ideal way to clean a keyboard is. Like if it's sticky, it needs something. But yeah, I don't know. I've got the MX keys because I don't like noisy keyboards. And as like there's two schools. Like some people love the clickety clickety keyboards, and I'm not into it, honestly. I don't like the noise. I also don't like when my mouse makes a noise either. I don't like it doing clicks either. I like silent work. But yeah. In Claire's pattern, the boxes stagger instead of sitting on top of each other. She's got 2 versions. Wait. You're right. They do stagger. What am I doing? Hang on a second. Repeat row 2. I repeated row 2 and 3. I did not go to row 5. You could do it this way if you want. We're not going to. I'm going to go back and actually follow the pattern that I should have been reading. So all right, let me get in and do the right thing. Thank you for pointing that out because I would have just kept going. But I think it still looks cute with the stacking, if that's what you want to do. Oh, wait. Okay, I have to go down a row. My brain is not helping me, so I need to go down here. Do the stitch where the stitch is supposed to be done, not where you feel like it. Get out of the way, tail. Okay, thank you for pointing that out for me. I would have just gone on my merry little way, making stacks rather than staggers. Although I think it looks cute stacked. I'm not taking that back. I think the pops of red will look better in a stagger, honestly. Oh, get out of the way, little white thing. There we go. All right, we're back on track. We're back on track. All righty, thank you. I would have just kept going. Repeat rows 2 to 5. Gosh, I should have just kept reading the pattern a bit more, shouldn't I? That's what happens when you don't read through the whole pattern before you start. Don't be like me. Read the whole pattern before you start. So thank you, Vanfia, for reminding me. Leanne is considering a bench runner because you can tailor it to fit. Yep. Yeah. Should have done some reading. Yeah. And Vanfia, I agree. I think it looks cute either way. Honestly, both ways work. But we're going with Claire's pattern. I can't count. I only did 3. I need to do 4. Good thing it's a swatch and not a blanket. Absolutely, Holly. Absolutely. Luckily, we're making a mug rug. This will be good over here on the edge of my table because I've got like a couple of little like I actually use the face scrubbies as coasters for like my cup and stuff like that. But in saying that, I don't always, remember and just stick them down. If all else fails, read the instructions. Precisely. Come on. I would like to do a pop of red before we run away. So I need to crochet a little faster. So, can you guys crochet faster on command, just out of curiosity? Or do you guys work at your like top speed all the time? Also good now to catch now. Yes, absolutely. You could have stacked the main colors and then offset the pop of colors, but I don't know if you can stack one and offset the other. I don't think that quite, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Or like stack them and do like a red row and a white row and a red row and a white row. Is that what you mean? Alternate rather than offset. Is not the hook the red? No, it's not. I make mistakes if I crochet faster. Oh, look, I do too. Absolutely. But I have like the speed that I crochet like when I'm chatting with you guys versus the speed that I crochet when I'm sitting on the couch. There's differences. Okay, we have made it to the end. Yay. I like how this live stream's called like weaving in ends, and now we've started a project where we don't have to weave in any ends. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so we need a bit of red. Come on, pomegranate. Right, you're the outside. Where's the inside? There we go. Okay. Now we are alternating. So we're doing a single crochet here. Little pops of red. This red looks so nice next to this blue, honestly. My speed is dependent on what I'm watching. If I'm watching something intense, I crochet faster because of anxiety. True. That is so true. I do the same thing. Or if it's something super intense, I do this. And my hands do nothing. Oh, dear. Oh, what am I doing? I've got to just single crochet all the way across. So what I might do, because we are going to run out of time soon, is I'll single crochet part the way across in the red, and then I'll join on the blue so we can have a look and we can decide if we like it. Or in the time that it could take for me to talk about doing that, I could possibly just get to the end and just cut it off. So I think I'll just do that. So yeah. But I definitely like the idea excuse me, of having the red, maybe not as the first row, because then I can do the red as the slip stitch rounds, so I can have like the red peeping out all around the edges. Is Leanne back? Did Leanne go away somewhere? I didn't realize Leanne had left. Sorry, Leanne. I was concentrating on my hands. So this row is still the same. It's just the main color row that switches. So, okay. I understand now, I think. I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? Been wrong before. Being wrong in craft is not a life sentence. So, you know. Sal says I didn't realize either. Like, you both just walk off, leave me with no moderators, la 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 la. Oh, we were in your pocket. Okay. That is kind of random. That's kind of funny though. Alrighty, let's join on and see how it looks with the pops of color. Okay, get out of the way, little tail. 2, 3, and 4. We're nearly there. There we go. I like the red and the blue together. I really do. And if we just have the occasional row of red, I think it's going to look really nice. I think this would look amazing as well, just using up the scrap cottons that I've got. Because I've got some scrap cottons too. It is kind of nautical, you're right. Yeah. We'll get to the end. I'll get there beforehand and then we can have a good look. I'll do a little zoom in. And then we're nearly at the end of the row. We'll get there. And I'll also grab a photo and pop it over in the fun zone, and you guys can let me know if you think that we should try and do like just the occasional like 4-stitch pop with the rest of white around it, or whether or not we just stick with the occasional row of the different color. Because that's also a possibility. Bob, I was just thinking it's a little bit flag colored, like not just the American flag, but Australian flags, red, white, and blue as well. So we've got our dark blue background with our white Southern Cross and then the Union Jack in the corner. It is kind of flaggish. But I think just the occasional pop of red would actually make it less flaggish, if that's what you're after. Okay. All right, we ran over a time a little, but here we go. Yeah, making a beach blanket. Oh, Sally, sorry, Sally, I missed your comment. This could be your Aussie blanket. It could be an Aussie blanket. Absolutely, it could be. I like the red with that. I'm just going to bring it up a bit closer. I just don't, it's not super flat. There we go. So, yeah, the red looks really good. How many stitches did you lose doing your border? I'm just curious. Like, is it just 1 or 2, or because it just feels odd to me that you're not going to have the 4 stitches on the edges. That's my only concern, is I'm going to look at it and I'm going to see that the edges are going to be like, say, 3 stitches or 2 stitches, whereas we could just add in a couple of extra stitches to allow for the border. Like, because, you know, that's what Tina does. She adds in an extra stitch to start, so because she knows she's going to cover one. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think we should, when we do the blanket, should we add in an extra stitch so when we do our border we've still got our 4s, or would that not bother you when you're working on it? I'm going to finish off at this as a mug rug. I'm going to keep going and make it the full-size mug rug, but I'm just thinking for the blanket, I think I would like the extra stitch on either end, unless I screwed up my stitch counts and everybody else gets that. Lisby says, see, that wouldn't bother me, but if it does you, then add the extra stitch. Yeah, see, I don't really have OCD, but I do notice patterns. So what's a mug rug? So a mug rug is like a great way of testing things that gives you something about this size that you can use as a bigger like thing. You can put a cup on it. You can put a plate on it. It's like a little mini placemat, really. Kathy was wondering that as well. Yeah, because let me just have a look. Do we have a photo of Claire's blankets? Do we have a photo with the border? We do. See, hers doesn't. Oh, it only takes like half a stitch out. No, it does. It takes a whole stitch out. So she's only got the 3. But unless you zoom in, you don't notice it. Okay. All right. Maybe I'm just being overly pedantic. Because I'm looking at on her website. Let me just StreamYard. Share screen. That one. So I'm just looking at this, right? This the middle photo here. And if you come over here, you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches there. But there's 1, 2, 3 there. And then there's 3 going up. So I'm thinking that like when it's zoomed out, you don't notice it, right? But when it's zoomed right in, you do. So maybe I won't notice it. So I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm with Vampire. I do. I think I'm with Vampire. I think for my blanket, I will end up adding an extra stitch on each end, just so that yeah, see, I'm with you as well. The lack of symmetry, it would bug me as well. That's why I'm thinking I'm going to have to do it. But yeah, other than that, I think for a mug rug, it's going to be perfectly fine. Oh, Leanne's done. I'm looking at mine. It's 3, but I'm not bothered by it, to be honest. And you probably didn't even think about it or notice it until I mentioned it. So I'm sorry about that. So yeah. But anyway, thank you all for you know, helping me start something new. It's this, we'll just go with the mug rug for now. And next week I will keep, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to do any more on it. I'm going to wait, and then we can decide some more pops of color. So we'll do our weaving in ends of our blanket section. We'll do some more of our mug rug. Yeah, and then we'll go from there. Amelia's got some great advice here. Do the mug rug and see how you feel once it's done. Yes, I think that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, I hope you all have an awesome week. You get projects finished you want to finish. You get projects started you want to start, and that you have enough yarn to do everything you need to do. I will see you all next time. Be awesome and have fun, and I'll catch you next week. Bye now.